We had kind of a mixed bag of guys there. I think, as we saw with San Francisco, those didn't have their top three weights. I think everybody's dealing with the effects of COVID a little bit, some sickness and that type of deal, and just kind of what we're going up against right now. Had to cancel the duel with Shadron later in the week on Friday, and I think it's just what we're dealing with right now. We'll reschedule that duel with Shadron. Looks like it'll be on the 10th of February. But, we were able to scoot through that duel and get a win there. Had some backup guys in there, maybe even 2 or 3s or some 4s, But that's where we're pretty lucky. We've got a pretty big roster. When we look at our 42, 43 guys. San Francisco, on the other hand, has 28. So when they get in a pickle, it's kind of they don't have the depth in their roster, and we're able to have pretty good depth there. So anyway, we'll see how it goes this week, and hopefully, we'll put a good lineup out there as well.
A couple of really big matchups this week. Thursday, battle in Brownson with CSU Pueblo, and then I'll call it a showdown with Mines on Sunday at 3. Let's talk about those two matchups.
Battle in Brownson with CSU Pueblo. They've got some good kids in there. Their heavyweight's real good. Their 57-pounder's pretty solid as well. And, 25s is starting to he's beating some ranked guys as well. So, I see us, we should come out of that one with a W, but it's hard to say. I mean, we got to get out there and wrestle. We definitely got to wrestle better than we did against San Francisco. Even though we were wrestling some backup guys in that, we were a little lackadaisical in that duel, and we got to wrestle better. And, with Mines, I think we've lost the last 3 and maybe 4 years to Mines in duels. We've beat them in tournaments, beat them in regionals last year, beat them at the nationals last year, but they put a pretty good, solid team together in duels, and we got to be ready to go because they'll wrestle. They'll put some good guys out on the mat. And actually, that could be both of us are undefeated in the conference, so that that's definitely a big match for us.
Questions?
Going into a week where you have 2 duels, kind of in a 4-day span, do you guys do anything different during practice? Maybe take a little bit lighter coach some days. What do you guys kind of do during a week like that?
Well, it's just a different week. You got to lay your week out different. If it was a day in between, you do it a little different. If you have, there's 2 days in between on this duel, or if it's one day then the next day, we probably had our hardest practice of the week already, which was yesterday. Then we'll taper off today and tomorrow, and then be ready to go Thursday. And then, Friday, hard to say. We'll probably take Friday off totally. And then Saturday, we'll have a good practice Saturday afternoon. And Sunday, we'll wrestle in the duel. But then we've got to turn around and be ready to wrestle, get on the road next Wednesday as well. So, so we're trying to time it where we're not wearing the guys out and everything. But, we've got four duels in, 10 days there. It's about what it is. So you've got to kind of, get them right. Some of the starters in that, we're not hitting the liftings in the morning, right? The lifts in the morning right now, so we're kind of backing off on that a little bit. So, we're trying to gauge it right for our guys, but also they got to have good practices in that as well. So.
You talked about the depth that you guys have on your team and on your roster. How has that helped you throughout the season?
Well, it helps in a lot of ways. Anytime you can develop red shirts, work on developing and using your backups, as in backup matches and that helps a lot. And it gives you lots of variety in your room, of workout partners. You always need variety, and we have a lot more depth in our upper weights right now. We split up to run some days and go heavier weights and lighter weights, and we've got a lot more heavier guys than really lighter guys right now. We're just, a little bit top heavy. So, but it's all good. It's good because we've been sometimes not as many guys depth-wise in the upper weights as we have right now.
See, Donnie, this week and really these next 2 or 3 weeks with conference duels and all, is this kind of the time of the year where you click into let's get serious mode? Not that you weren't serious early, but
yeah.
This is crunch time?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that actually, because what was it, on Friday or Saturday, we were talking about in the room after practice how we need a get serious button on the wall. Right now, this is the time. If we weren't serious before, right now is when we got to really just buckle down and get serious about our training, get serious about our lifestyle and practice and everything we're doing just to get ready for these next few tough duels and then the regional coming up.
I know you like to, rest guys when you can, but this is the time where you've got to get your guys tournament ready too, so.
Well, I mean, you think about it, I think, what do we have, 6 more matches right now until regionals? Would that be accurate? I mean, we've got 6 more conference duels is basically what we have. And, on the road against Adams and Highlands next week, that's always a tougher road trip. I think we plan it out and travel it as best as we can. That'll be good. It'll be right at the beginning of February, and then by the most part, other than traveling to Western for the duel when did we reschedule that? The 16th of February, we moved that duel. Other than that, we're at home till nationals, so our regional will be here. But we're also gauging too, looking at how it's going to work with our regional being home. We had it here last year as well. What were the effects of that? What do we need to maybe do some different things and just change a few things up? But we should be all right. I think our schedule's just right now. A guy like Donnie, I mean, we've got him somewhat on the old man plan. He's in his 6th year, and trying to gauge it a little bit, but we really haven't found the chances or opportunities to kind of pull him from some matches. But he's holding up health wise and all that. So we feel pretty good about that. We'd like to get Cash in there and spell him a little bit, but you look at last week and his match was forfeited from San Francisco, and then we don't wrestle Shadron. So maybe it's more fitting this way. We have 2 days in between.
And, knock on wood, fairly healthy going into these last 6.
Oh, we always say that with caution. Donnie, he's fairly healthy, as good as he can be.
Anything special for battle other than trying to get as many people in here as possible?
Yep, pack the house. That's what's going to be special. Good crowds. I mean, school's back in. That's great. Get our student crowd up there is really what we'd like to push. And what do we got? 250 shirts. First 250 people through the door are going to get shirts for Battle in Brownson. I still see them floating around from the first year we did it. 6 years ago? 7 years ago? It's been going for a while. So, you still see those shirts, and you love to see them. So, it should be good. Should be good. And then we're going to do, when we wrestle Mines, we're going to do a community night as well and try to get all of our youth and junior high programs, or anybody that's involved in wrestling, any clubs around town, the high schools, like to get all those guys and all those teams from not just Grand Junction, but we'd like to get around the outer schools as well. It's a 3:00 duel, and if we can get some teams in here from as far around as we can, it's a good opportunity for, I always have high school coaches, I wish you could plan something when we can wrestle, because usually they're wrestling Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Well, here you go. Sunday we're wrestling. So, and I know high schools and that can't compete on Sundays.
Good plan.
Well, we're making it a plan.
Yeah. Donnie, does Battle in Brownson, does that help push the get serious button?
I mean, no, not necessarily. I like to handle all the duels the same, because I've lost matches to guys that you never should lose matches to. I see a guy, so it doesn't really matter who I'm wrestling against. I'm always gonna be up here for competition. I don't really care who I'm wrestling up against, who I'm lining up against. But it's just a lot more fun at the Battle in Brownson. There's a lot more people. It's a lot rowdier. You get your emotions going a lot more. So, I mean, it's a lot more fun, but in terms of just competing, I'm always trying to stay up at the same level that I always do, not to do anything crazy or whatever, just trying to win.
Question of the week.
What is your favorite game to play with friends outside of your sport?
Spike ball. No question.
Spike ball?
Yeah.
What's that? What's the favorite?
Favorite game to play with friends outside of wrestling?
Well, it wouldn't be chess.
Do you even know
I
how
would
to
say
play chess?
no. Yeah. Oh, yeah, probably blackjack at the tables. Yep. Me and Dave Yonke.